Hello everybody, welcome back to the Traxion YouTube channel and welcome to week 4 of our fixed Ferrari track guide series here on iRacing. Now week 4 brings us to the Hockenheimring, an absolutely perfect circuit for racing. But it's really difficult to get a fast lap around here unless you exploit the track limits, and that's what we're going to show you in this track guide. So if you followed my track guides before, you'll know that they are not a place for hot laps. It's a slow, methodical approach to learn the circuit where I talk about my braking markers, my reference points, and the little quirks that each circuit has. So as usual, I'll show you the flying lap in full first of all, and then we'll jump in the car, do a few laps, show you those braking markers and reference points in action. So enough talking, let's get on track. So here we are on the main start-finish straight here at the Hockenheimring. So as usual, we've set the sim time to match the official series. So it's the 9th of October 2021 and the time in the sim is 1:40 PM. We're also using the iRacing sprint setup, which is used in the official series. Track temperature right now is 32 degrees Celsius, which is what it was in the flying lap that you've just seen. Brake bias this week, we've gone for 53.5. That's only 3 clicks down from stock. There's lots and lots of trail braking here at the Hockenheimring, so a more forward brake bias helps you out loads. Hockenheimring, as I mentioned in the intro, it's all about the track limits or knowing where you can exploit them to get a fast lap. Turn 1 is a perfect example. So we're going to be coming down here in 4th gear. We're going to be holding 4th. The car will be revving its head off, but just resist the temptation. Leave it in 4th gear. We want the car over to the left-hand side. And we're going to be braking round about the 100 or just after. Not too much braking, just taking a little bit of speed off the car. And then we're going to bleed off the brakes and turn in quite early to the apex. Now, there's lots of downforce here, so if you hit the sausage curb on the inside a little bit, it doesn't matter too much. So we want to be getting on the gas just at the apex, and then we want to be accelerating out. Use all of this on the exit. It doesn't matter, you won't get off track. And then just get it back there and you'll be fine. So then the run all the way down to turn number 2, which is quite tricky. The braking marker here is in between the 150 and the 100. More towards the access road here that you can see on the left hand side. So round about here, we're going to be braking hard all the way down into 1st gear. We want the car right over to the left hand side, braking a straight line. We're going to turn in really late because we want the car over to the right hand side to go on the next section of turns. Now get on the gas here nice and early. Don't hit that curb on the right there, by the way. Accelerate all the way up here, so however early you get on the gas there, that's going to benefit you at the other end, because you're going to carry that speed all the way up. So keep the car over to the left hand side around this long sweep in turn number 5. Then up to the hairpin, the tricky hairpin, and to be honest, however you get round here doesn't really matter, as long as you get round without hitting anybody or getting off track. But braking marker here I use just at the start of this curb on the left hand side, so the end of the red barrier you can just see on our left there, the start of the curb, that's where we're going to be braking. We're going to be going all the way down into first gear. So I put my tyres on the curb, not on the grass, on the curb, and I'm going to be braking in a straight line and turning in quite late, because we want to get a good exit out of here. So we want the car round about here, get on the gas early. You can go on this curb here, it doesn't matter, you won't get off track. And then this is all flat out through turn number 7. Just bear in mind, as soon as you get round turn number 7 here, we want the car back over to the right, turn number 8. Now, braking here, I use the end of the curb on the right hand side. Now, as you can see, the curb there, it angles in. Now, if you put 2 wheels on the curb there, your wheels will hit that grass, and there's a good chance you'll lose control. So I try and stay off this curb here, in particular, as much as I possibly can. So we're going to be braking just at the end of the curb there. We're going to be braking in a straight line all the way down into first gear, turning in late again because we want the car over to the left hand side here. Accelerate second, and then a short shift to third at this point. And then just before we turn for this right-hander, we're going to lift off the gas just to get the weight over the front end, just to help it turn. You want your wheels on the blue and white curb on the right-hand side. Don't put your wheels on the AstroTurf, because I don't know if you can see that there. There is a lip on the inside of the blue and white curb. That does unsettle the car quite a lot, and you can lose quite a bit of time there. A good half a second if the car gets unsettled. So just blue and white curb, no more. Then get on the gas. The car will be a little bit slidey, that's fine. Use all of this on exit. You can go on this sausage curb there, that's okay. And then turn number 11, really tricky corner this one, because there's not really any reference points on the left hand side that you're going to use as your braking marker, apart from this shadow here, but that might change depending on the time of day and the weather. So just bear that in mind. So there is a lamppost there, you can use that, but there's nothing on the wall to tell you where to brake. So get on the brakes there, just a little bit, not too much. We're in 4th gear, then down to 3rd gear. Use quite a bit of this AstroTurf on the inside, then get on the gas, and again let the car run all the way out wide. Use all of this AstroTurf on the exit, move the car back over to the right, and I use this change in road surface colour as my braking marker here. So then we're on the brakes, down into 2nd gear. Use the rubbered line on the circuit as your line there. So we're going to be trail braking all the way to the apex. Now there are some tyre marks there. These tyre marks that you can just see shooting off. That's your cue to get back on the gas. And then keep turning left though. Don't straighten the car up because you'll run off. Keep turning left, so you want the car on here. And then point the car over to this next turn here. And we want the left tyres on the AstroTurf in this little sweet spot here. And then skipping that curb completely. So 3rd gear. And then here we're going to be on the brakes. And we're going to be turning in for this next right turn quite late. Now, speed isn't really that important going through this turn. All we're looking to do is position the car in the right place to get us a really good exit out of the final turn. So it's all about car positioning this turn. So we're turning quite late, being patient on the gas, and then you can kiss this curb on the left hand side, that's fine, but then we're going to lift off the gas, 3rd gear, get the car turned in, and then we're going to use quite a bit of this AstroTurf on the left. And then the car will push out wide, use all of this on the exit, and that's a lap. So right, we'll start to pick up the pace a little bit now. So hold 4th gear just after the 100, or just at the 100, turning quite early, and get on the gas at the apex, use all of this. Run down turn number 2, so just before the access road on the left, so we're going to be braking, straight line, down at 1st gear, turning late, get on the gas. The earlier you can get on the gas there, the better, because you're going to carry that all the way up here. So move the car over to the left, make the track as short as you possibly can. Go for the tricky hairpin, so we're going to be braking just before the start of the curb on the left hand side. in a straight line, left tyres on the curb itself, and turn in quite late and get on the gas. And flat out through the next turn, but then we need the car back over to the right hand side. Just before the end of the curb, we're going to be braking, turn in late, accelerate, second gear, short shift to third, a little lift, don't go on the AstroTurf, and get on the gas. Use that curb on exit if needs be. Then just as we get inside the wall where that shadow is, brake in, use a bit of this on the inside, but accelerate through it. And brake in just at the change of road surface colour there. Look at those tyre marks, there they are. Keep turning left, get the left tyres in that sweet spot, and braking here. This is all about track position, all about getting your car where you want it to be for this final turn. Then accelerate through there on the AstroTurf, use all of the AstroTurf on exit. Right, we'll pick up the pace a little bit now. So hold fourth gear just after the 100, brake in, turn early, get on the gas, clip that curb if you want, it's fine. Loads of downforce at that point. Up to fifth, just before the access road on the left hand side, on the brakes. Try not to touch that curb on the right hand side there. That does unsettle the car quite a bit. We'll move the car over to the left. And we're going to be braking just before the start of the curb, or just at the start of the curb on the left hand side. Left tyres on the curb itself. Then accelerate out. Use this sausage curb if you need to. So this is flat out up to fifth gear. We'll move the car over to the right. Just before the end of the curb, braking down into first gear. Then accelerate through into second. Short shift to third. And a little lift. Then accelerate through. And just as we enter the walled area there, we're going to be on the brakes. Accelerate through this AstroTurf there, all the way through, up to fourth, and down 2 gears. Trail braking all the way. Look for those tyre marks, there they are. That's our cue to get on the gas. Put those left tyres in that sweet spot. But this is all about turning in late, getting your car where you want it to be for this last corner. There we go, and all the way through. That's not going to be particularly quick. 38.8, so not too quick, but it shouldn't be too far off. It's all about being brave with those track limits. You can gain lots of time, but there's a fine line between gaining time and getting off track. Right, let's talk about pit entry, pit exit. So we'll talk about pit entry now. Now, it's not too bad here at the Hockenheimring. Just approach this turn as you normally would. But instead of holding third gear, we're going to be going down to second gear and hold the brake a little bit more because we need the car over to the right hand side. So enter the pit lane where these broken white lines are, and then you're just going to have to take it nice and easy around this right turn because there's grass either side, and then accelerate down, and then round about here is where I get on the brake. So just a few meters after the white wall starts, we're going to be getting on the brakes. Get your pit limiter on, around about now. And then into pit lane. I'll show you that now on a flying lap. Okay, so we'll simulate a pit entry now with speed. So just a normal lap. But instead we're going to be braking going down to second gear because we want the car over to the right hand side. Getting before the broken white lines finish. And then run about here, get on the brakes. The only sketchy part is the grass on either side. As you can see there, we did touch the grass, so you've got to be very, very careful. Now we'll talk about pit exit whilst we're here. Now, pit exit here at Hockenheimring is actually probably one of the best pit exits there is. The only thing you need to worry about is the relative. Now, green cone there, so release the pit limiter. Stay on the right hand side of the white line there, and then we're coming down into turn number 2. Now all you need to bear in mind is your relative. There's quite a gap between the end of the blue cone when you can move across and turn number 2, so just keep an eye on your relative. If you are being lapped, just hold back, give those guys time, and then move over and just take the turn as normally. So pit entry, just the grass on either side that's a little bit sketchy. Pit exit, it's a piece of cake. Right, let's talk about where I think you're best going to make an overtake stick here at the Hockenheimring. So overtaking at the Hockenheimring, it's actually not too bad. It's probably one of the better circuits for overtaking. There's quite a few places where you can overtake. Now turn number 1 is a prime example on the exit. You will get people quite hesitant or will lose control, will hit the sausage curb on the inside, lose a bit of control. So that's your given there. You're going to get overtakes coming out of turn number 1 as long as you nail when to get on the gas. People will always make mistakes or get slowed down. Now turn number 2, people may defend. You know, if you get a good run on them, they'll position their car over here. Well, you're going to look at setting up the overtake into turn number 6 from this point. Now if they're defending, you want to be just on your normal racing line, but you want to turn in a little bit later. Their exit will be compromised, so we're going to be looking to switch it back and trying to get a run on them down this long straight here. If this doesn't work, now this is a really good place to set up an overtake in turn number 10. Now we're only approaching turn number 5 right now, but if people have defended, if they hold the inside line here, then there's chances are they're going to defend every single turn. So we're going to look at, again, turning in quite late, switching back, getting a good run. We want to try getting alongside them going into turn number 8. Now the chances are, and this is where I've made a lot of overtakes here at the Hockenheimring, chances are whoever you're racing against will defend, will try and hold this inside line. That's fine. Let them have it, because we're going to carry the speed around the outside and make the move stick into turn number 10. So they're defending. We're going to go too wide into this turn, which frequently happens. We're going to give them room. Then, because we've taken a wider line, we can get on the gas a little bit sooner, and this is where we're going to get the move done. In the right-hander in turn number 10. Because if we get the move done here, there's no way back. Because they ain't going to get you around the outside of turn number 11. So at this point, if they are still there, right now, they're not going to be still there. They're going to be gone. And that's the move done. So you set the move up at turn number 6 by getting a really good run, taking it too wide in turn number 8 to get the move done into turn number 10. And round here, it's just a procession usually. Nothing really happens. We're just going to try and get the car in a position where we can get right on the tail of the guy in front and maybe nick a position coming out of turn number 1. So that's my top tips here. Exit of turn number 1 and turn number 10. So there we go. That's week 4 done here at the Hockenheimring. Please let me know down in the comments how you got on. What were your times before the guide? What were your times after? Did I help? Did I cover everything that you wanted to be covered in a track guide? So week 5, we go to Interlagos, which should be incredible. As always, thank you for watching. Keep it pinned. See you later. Cheers.